Hey everybody, I miss you guys. It has been too long. I'm so ready for us to be back under the same roof together. If I haven't gotten to meet you, my name is Kelly Smithson, and I'm married to Connor, who pastors our worship team and our student ministry, and I'm just along for the ride, and I love it. I have a quick word for y'all today. As Connor would call it, it's just a little nugget of truth. It's something that was rooted in me at a young age, thanks to my mom, and I just feel like it's a really good, timely reminder right now in the season that we're living in, where we have little control over anything that's going on, whether it's our job or the schools, big celebrations, vacations, just day-to-day activities. I feel like we just have little control right now, and I just wanted to remind you and myself that we have 100% control over our thoughts and our choices. I'm going to read from Deuteronomy 30, verses 19 and 20. This passage of scriptures, my mom calls this her life verse, and it's so good. It's such a good reminder. It says, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that you and your offspring may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying his voice, and holding fast to him, for he is your life. And if you only knew how many times I heard this growing up, especially as a teenager. I have two brothers, but I feel like they were saints, so I feel like they never heard this. But I probably heard it 1,000 times from my mom, especially like if I was in a bad mood or having a bad attitude. She'd be like, choose life, choose life. And I hated it. But it's hilarious because here I am, almost 29 years old, and I think about this. If I don't think about it daily, I at least think about it weekly. And 90% of the time I get it wrong, but it's so good. It was meant for the Israelites, this passage of scripture, but it's still true for us today. Each day presents itself with life and death, blessing and curse. And ultimately, it's our choice of which we're going to live by. There's no middle ground. It's life or death, blessing or curse. And I feel like right now, it's easy for us to live out of fear, anxiety, loneliness, disappointment, sadness. But Paul sets us up for success in Philippians 4. I need 3 arms. Okay, so he sets us up for success in Philippians 4:8. It says, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So I feel like every day we need to have a brain check and just see, making sure our thoughts are aligning with these things. Instead of fear, let's choose trust. Instead of anxiety, let's choose rest and peace. Instead of disappointment, let's choose joy and thankfulness. Instead of loneliness, let's choose community. Thankfully, we live in a day and age where we have a lot of resources. Thank you to technology. A couple of weeks ago, I was feeling pretty low, missing my friends, and I texted a friend and I said, download the Marco Polo app. I need to see your face, even though it's through a screen. And y'all, it brought so much joy and life to me. So don't wait for someone to initiate it with you. Be the initiator. Anyways, back to Paul. Later on in that same chapter in verses 4:11 through 13, it's so good. Paul, he's just the man, He just got it right. So chapter 4, verse 11, not that I am speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Paul's contentment was not found in the circumstances around him, and he went through it. I feel like Paul, he was in a lot of messy situations. If you remember when he was in the prison at Philippi, at midnight, the darkest hour, he chose to praise. Even in the mess around him, he chose to praise. And you know why? Because he knew that God is faithful and God is unchanging. And so his praise was going to match that. His praise was not going to be moved by his circumstances. He was going to do it anyways because God is faithful. He does not change. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so his contentment did not depend on his circumstances. And because of it, the prison walls shook. people's chains, or the prisoners' chains were loosened, and even a prison guard came to know Christ. And, take this back to Deuteronomy 30. Choose life, for the Lord is your life. I feel like that is the secret that Paul was talking about. The secret was choose life, because the Lord is your life. When death or life is before us, choose life. Let's not be moved by our circumstances, for God is our peace, our rest, our joy, our provider during this time. So I just wanted to remind you that every day we have the choice of how we're going to view this situation and this circumstance. We can either live in fear or trust in God. We have it right before us every day. So let's choose life, because He is our life. Love you guys.